Here are the 5 money rules that will change your finances forever if you apply each of them together. And I am going to show you how, step by step, exactly how to apply them together. Rule number 1, the cycle. Chances are, this is what you are doing. You go to work. You collect a paycheck every week or two. You put your paycheck into a checking account with your bank. Then every month, as the bills come in, you pay those bills from the money in your checking account. All the while, you hope and pray that you will have enough to get through to the end of the month. Am I right? Yes, I know I am. Well, I have bad news and good news. Here's the bad news. The cycle I just talked about is the wrong cycle, and you are on it. The good news is, I am going to teach you the right cycle. But before I can do that, and do not worry, I am not going to be asking for your money. But before I can teach you the right cycle, you need to learn the other 4 money rules first. So let's jump into money rule number 2. Money moves fast, yours included, and it is not what you are thinking right now. Money only does its job when it moves, and like I said, it moves fast. It does not like sitting still, and it actually cannot just sit. Money does not care who moves it, it just has to move. It is the basic instinct of money. So as you hold your money in the bank, they make money using your money while they wait for you to use it. Every time a new dollar is deposited into a bank, it increases the bank's total reserves. Stay with me, this is important. You are going to leverage this fact to your advantage. The bank keeps some of the money in reserves, and it loans out the rest to qualified borrowers. Those borrowers make deposits with the loan money into their own bank as a new deposit, and the process starts all over again. That new bank of the person that took out a loan, this bank also holds a percentage of the deposited money and lends out the rest. Kinda seems like a scam, right? Well, my friend, that is how it works. I am not going to get into all the details about money supply and the fact that what you think of as a dollar is actually someone else's. I owe you, that's why it is called a reserve note. A note is essentially an IOU. But let's just say that most people do not know what money is or how it is constantly moving. If you want to learn the details, look up some videos online about the fractional reserve system, about the money supply, and about how the money multiplier works. I just gave you a very brief overview, but there is much more to learn if you want to. So far, it is important that you understand that there are different money cycles and money moves fast. And most importantly, we are going to get you on the right money cycle. So now, we will talk about money rule number 3, the purpose of money. Once again, it is probably not what you were thinking. Before we talk about rule number 3, the purpose of money, it is important that you understand. The only reason you cannot access the true power behind money's actual purpose is if you choose not to. Like we said in the last rule, money has to move and it does not care who moves it. You can move it or someone else will. Either way, it will move every day. The question you must ask is, do I want to get the benefit of all of this movement, or am I going to let someone else have it? You cannot stop it from moving, and no one can take it from you. Once you put all 5 rules together and use them as they actually exist, there is nothing that can stop you. Okay, now that you understand that no one can prevent you from harnessing the power of the purpose of money, let's talk about it. If you asked most people, they would tell you that the purpose of money is to pay bills, keep score, or to be used as a medium of exchange for goods and services. While all of these things are things we can do with money, this is not the purpose of money. The purpose of money is to make more money. That's it. Think of it like this. Every dollar you earn is like a little seed. Imagine for a minute if a farmer went and purchased a bag of seeds, took them home, and fed the seeds to his livestock. You would ask him, "Dude, what the hell do you think you were doing?" You would then show him how he can plant his seeds in the spring. And by the end of summer, he would have tons of crops that, by nature, are full of seeds. So now he can feed his animals with the crops, replant the seeds, and grow his farm year after year as he continues to have more seeds, and even more crops, to feed even more livestock. Now, if you're working for a paycheck and then spend that money on bills, you are that farmer who feeds his livestock the seeds he buys. Insanity, right? But it's not your fault. Just like that inexperienced farmer, you were never taught how to use your seeds, paychecks. So, now that you know there is a right and wrong cycle for money, and yes, I will explain the right cycle soon, and you understand that it moves fast, and its primary purpose is to make more money, and you now know that you can simply make the decision to take advantage of money, living out its purpose. Otherwise, you are giving it to someone else when you don't. Obviously, you are not going to make that mistake any longer. Now, it is time to learn about rule number 4. The definition of available balance. Once again, it's probably not what you were thinking. This is without a doubt the most important rule to learn if you are on the wrong cycle. If you don't understand the last 2 rules, you will never understand this one. And here's the thing, once you understand the rule of available balance, you will land into the right cycle by default. So like we said in the last 2 rules, money moves fast. even if you don't move it, because someone else will when you don't. The people who keep moving money, they are the ones that understand the rule of available balance. So, if I asked you, what is your available balance right now? Well, if you were on the wrong money cycle, you would most likely tell me how much money is in your bank account right now. If you are thinking that is the answer to the question, I am sorry, but that is not the right answer. Why, you ask? I will explain, but please understand that your total account balance is not your available balance. Remember the farmer? Think of your paycheck or any money you earn from working a job where you exchange your time for money. The money earned this way is your bag of seeds, the livestock on the farm that need to eat every day. Those are your bills. Do you feed the livestock on the farm with the seeds or the crops? So why in the world would you spend your hard-earned money on bills? Is it because that is what everyone else does? Maybe we need to ask ourselves, if that is the wrong way, why does everyone else do that? Maybe a better question is, who taught them to do that? Do you remember that game of telephone? One person whispers in the ear of the person next to them, and then that person whispers in the ear of the next person. We all laugh when we learn what the right answer is and how far it is from the right answer. Well, in my opinion, it is not at all funny when so many people are on the wrong cycle because they don't even realize they are feeding their seeds to their livestock. They pay bills with money they earn at work. I know you think that sounds normal, but the simple fact that this is normal to so many people is why so many people are just over broke. They are on the wrong money cycle, paying bills from their job. And until you learn what your actual available balance is and how to plant your paychecks so you can start growing your hard-earned money. Just like that farmer growing crops to feed his livestock, you too have to grow your paycheck to pay your bills. A farmer cannot say, I don't have enough crops, so I'm just going to keep feeding them seeds. No, he takes out a loan, grows his crops, then feeds his livestock. In the same way, you cannot say, I don't have any money to invest because I spend it all on bills. Until this sinks in and you truly get it, you will remain broke. But once you start planting your hard-earned money and turn it into a crop that pays you daily, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, all of a sudden, you will have an actual available balance that gets bigger every year. And yes, the first few years are challenging. But as long as you understand these 5 rules, you will always know what to do next. So if I have not made it 100% crystal clear yet, your available balance is the amount of crops you have grown with your seeds. Invest hard-earned dollars and only spend the money your money makes. And keep on investing all of your hard-earned money. Look, it is easier to make $1 million than it is to make $1,000. If you understand seeds versus crops, you understand what I am saying. Making thousands is hard. Making millions is easy when you understand these 5 money rules and use them correctly. Remember, your paycheck equals seeds. Crops from those seeds equal available balance. And livestock represent your bills. Follow this path for a few years and you will have more than you need to pay bills. And then you will start compounding because the money crop that you don't spend stays invested. But I know what you are thinking. What if my crop is not enough to feed my livestock? In other words, what if my investment income is not enough to pay my bills in my first year? The short answer is, you won't. The longer answer is, how you solve this problem will vary from person to person depending on many personal factors. And in just a bit, I am going to show you an investing method that generates profits daily in both up and down markets. But like I said, for most people with limited seeds, your earnings will not cover your monthly bills. Your crop will not be enough to feed your livestock. So, what do? Like I said, the answer will vary from person to person. But here's the general answer. Your actual solution may or may not be the same as this. But remember, rule number 2, money moves fast, right? There are actually 2 ways I will teach you to leverage the speed of money. But remember what I said in rule number 2. Every time banks take in new money, they hold a small percentage as reserves. The rest of it gets sent out in loans. So, if you have good credit and your current crop is not big enough to feed your pigs, aka bills, just borrow the difference. And one of the ways I will teach you to leverage the speed of money, your hard-earned money will earn more than 30% APY on average. That is more than 2% per month. And if you have good credit, there are many options to borrow money from 0% to 10%. You do not have to be a math genius to know that if you can borrow at 0% to 10% and earn at the rate of 30% or higher, you will want to borrow as much as you can. I don't know if you have ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. His book is one of my many resources that have taught me these essential rules of money. Some of my favorite things he says are a job is an acronym for just over broke and savers are losers. And one of the most powerful Robert quotes, being broke is temporary, poor is eternal. You see, once you know these 5 money laws, not only will you break free from the wrong cycle, you will run from it. Learn how Robert got started. He borrowed money. His secret is no big secret. And he will be the first to tell you, and my experience has been the same, that the banks will give you all the money you want. Once you show them that you know how money works, in just a few years, using these principles, these 5 money laws, anyone can have an abundant crop with more than enough to pay your monthly bills. And guess what happens when you have more than enough of a money crop and the knowledge of the 5 money laws? You keep the extra money working, which makes your money crop grow bigger and bigger. This is called compounding, and your money will naturally compound when you apply the 5 money rules together. I know that if you were on the wrong cycle, this is not something you have experienced yet. But I have a question for you. Are you broke or are you poor? Being poor is a choice. Being poor is to ignore the 5 money laws and pretend that you cannot overcome this. But if you are only broke and you are ready to apply the 5 money laws, you are now ready to learn about the right cycle, the money cycle that will accelerate your money faster than any certified financial advisor. If you prefer the 40-year 401k plan, go talk to them. I am not a financial advisor. I am carving my own path. I am using the right money cycle. And now that you know the 5 money laws, let me show it to you. Okay, the right cycle. Let's get you on it. Like I said, if you understand the other 4 rules, you will land in the right cycle by default. The only remaining challenge now is deciding where and how to grow your paychecks. We will answer that in just a minute, and I will give you a diagram of the right cycle to print out and hang on your wall. But first, take 1 second to let this idea sink into your mind. Once you are fully on the right money cycle, you will keep 100% of your hard-earned money forever. How? Think about it. If you never spend your paycheck dollars and you only spend the money your money makes, you will keep your paycheck dollars forever. Week by week, month by month, and year by year, you will constantly increase the amount that your money makes. Sounds amazing, right? Yes, it is. The only hard part is getting started. Getting off the wrong cycle and onto the right cycle can be disorienting. Not to mention all the people that will tell you that you cannot do something they are unwilling to do. How dare you become financially independent? Be warned. This will happen. Look up Plato's Cave on Google or YouTube. Those people are everywhere, and they will try to stop you. But I have good news for you. This plan is unstoppable if you apply each rule properly. As long as you understand each money rule and use each rule together to your advantage, not even a down market can stop you. In fact, down markets are like rocket fuel for those of us that understand and apply these 5 money laws to our advantage. Just like a race car driver cannot win a race without fuel, you cannot win this money race without down markets. Just like the race car driver comes to a complete stop for a bit when he needs to refuel or change tires. Down markets will slow down your earning pace for that period. But it is a critical period to fuel up and change tires if necessary when the market is down. This way you will have all the fuel you need once the race is on. People who forget to fuel up during down markets are the ones that always say, I wish I would have bought that stock 3 years ago. Or can you imagine if we would have bought that house back then? We thought it was expensive then. Oh well, who knew, right? Well, you now know these 5 money laws, and because you apply them now, in the future, people will be asking you, how did you know? When they do, I hope you tell them about the 5 money laws. Okay, so, back to that question. Where and how do I grow my paycheck dollars? Truth is, there are many ways to plant and grow. Too many ways, in fact, and that can be a defeating issue for many people. No matter what you do, it will take time to get to your goals, depending on what your goals are and how much you can start with. I will show you exactly how I got going just a few years ago. If I knew that you understood the rules 100% without a doubt, I would tell you to go all in with my process. But here's the thing. When going from the wrong cycle to the right cycle, there's almost a guarantee that something has not clicked yet. I feel like my first year, maybe even 2 years, I kept learning new lessons. Some of them were expensive, because other than the great books I read like Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Tony Robbins' book, Money Mastered the Game, I did not have anyone teaching me. I had to learn some lessons the hard way, even with their great teachings in their books. So, even though I am 100% confident in my process now, if you get even the smallest detail wrong, it will be magnified in the investing world. So, my point, start small. Because here's the thing. My process is about one thing, and you must write this down. My process is about average daily percentage. Write that down. Seriously. Write it down. Average daily percentage. You see, I started with just $200 working with a theory I had. I thought I had proven it, so I increased my investment to a few $1,000s. Then the market taught me some lessons. But I learned, I kept at it, and now, I am happy to say, I have been running the exact same strategy for about 2 years now, and it has been successful in both up and down markets. Why? Because I learned to focus on my average daily percentage, not my total dollars invested, or total dollars earned. Remember what I said about the rule of available balance? This was the hardest for me to learn. And so far, for everyone I have shown my process to, This has been the biggest learning curve, so I am going to try to help you out. The amount of money shown as your total available balance or total account value is 100% meaningless in the short term. In the long term, it is 100% the focus. But in the short term, you are only focused on your average daily percentage. In other words, even though my total account balance will go up and down like crazy, in the short term, I absolutely ignore it. Because while I am filling my race car with fuel, my focus is not on my speedometer. My focus is on my gas tank getting from empty to full. And I understand race car drivers do not fill a full tank for many reasons. In the same way, you will never fill your tank enough. Because once you start running the money race with these 5 money laws, when the markets are down, while most people are in panic mode and selling their future profits to you, you will never have as much fuel as you want, but you will get as much as you can. It may take a few ups and downs before you truly get to that emotion, but once you grow your account over 6 figures, it will become clear. And from there, it gets a little easier, even though the account balance swings get bigger and bigger. But since you are only focused on your average daily percentages, you won't even notice. Alright. Look, I hope you caught the sarcasm, but it is to make one final point. If you cannot remove emotions from financial decisions, this is not for you. My process is not sexy. It is quite boring. It is not overnight success unless you are achieving overnight success as defined by Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. He says that overnight success takes about 10 years. I tend to agree. Depending on many circumstances, using my process, I think it will take people 3 to 10 years, with an average being 5 to 7 years. There is an old saying that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You can spend your entire life chasing overnight success, or you can start making it now. If after watching this, you want to learn the details of my process, go to my website. I will teach you everything I know for free. I even teach you how to get all the tools you need for free as well. So with that, I hope you found this helpful. Find the link in this video or on this page and head over to my website. I will show you my process step by step. See you there.